Hello everyone, welcome to Come Sit at My Table. We're Tom and Melissa and we are very happy to have you here with us today. You may know that this coming Saturday is Kentucky Derby Day. Kentucky Derby is a big deal in Kentucky, but it's also a big deal across our country and even around the world. There are people who fly into Kentucky just for Kentucky Derby weekend. So today we are going to make a hot brown casserole, which is really a sheet pan full of hot browns, and we're doing that to celebrate the Derby. Now, if you're going to have people over to watch the Derby, this would be a great way for you to fix hot browns to serve to go with the Derby. Hot browns were actually invented in Louisville at the Brown Hotel, and there's a whole history that goes with that. If you're interested, you can go back and watch our video from a year ago about the history of the hot brown. So today we're going to make 8 hot browns, and it's called a hot brown casserole. This comes from a friend of ours, Jill Davis Maynard, who was a fellow teacher, and she was actually at a sports banquet in a neighboring county, and the ladies at the cafeteria of the school served this dish at the sports banquet. So Jill asked for the recipe, they gave it to her, and she shared it with me. Now I'm going to be up front with you and tell you that I've not made this recipe before. Jill actually gave me this recipe years ago, and I've had it in my files for a long time, and I decided today was the day to do it so we could celebrate the Derby. So let's talk about what we're going to use to make our hot brown casserole. We're going to start with 6 tablespoons of butter. Now we won't use that whole stick because that's 8 tablespoons. We only need 6 of them. And I've already got 6 tablespoons of butter melting on the stove so we could speed this along a little bit. We're also going to use 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of whole milk. We're going to use 2 cups of Swiss cheese. And you will see that I have that shredded and in 2 separate cups because we're going to use 1 cup in our cheese sauce, our Mornay sauce, and the other cup of shredded cheese we're going to put on top of our hot browns. So we are going to need 2 cups, but we'll use them at different times. We're also going to use 1 cup of extra sharp white cheddar. That gives it a great flavor. Then for seasonings, we're going to use 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And if you don't have kosher salt, no big deal, just use regular salt. It's okay. You might want to use just a hair less than a teaspoon if you're using regular salt, but it won't matter. It won't hurt anything. We're also going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper and just a big pinch of nutmeg. Then we have to have bread. Actually, we have to have toast. And I have already toasted 8 slices of our Texas toast that we're going to use in the casserole. We also are going to need sliced deli turkey. I got 2 pounds of turkey, and I'm going to use most of it. I might save out just a slice or 2 for Melissa and me to have a sandwich later, or maybe tomorrow. But we're going to use almost all this 2 pounds, and I may use it all. We're going to need some paprika. I'm not going to measure it out. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top of our hot browns. Then we're going to need bacon. I'm going to use 12 slices of bacon. I'm going to do about 1.5 slices of bacon per piece of toast. And then for garnish on the top, we're going to need some diced tomatoes and some parsley. Parsley is optional. You certainly do not have to use the parsley if you don't want. Okay, I have the butter already melted. I'm going to get that started bubbling a little bit. Then I'm going to sprinkle in, there it is, it's starting to bubble. I'm going to sprinkle in our flour, and we're just going to whisk that in and let that kind of brown for just a couple of minutes. I want that to cook over about medium heat. And you do want to whisk that really well because you do not want lumps in this. We're making, actually, this is just a roux, is all we're doing. Fat and flour, butter and flour. But we do want it to cook for about 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, until you can see that it's starting to brown. So we'll just keep cooking it until it's brown to the level that we want it. All right, our butter and flour has started to brown a little. So we're going to add in about half of our milk. And we're just going to whisk that in. Make sure that gets mixed in really well. And then we're going to add the other half of our milk. And we will cook this until it begins to thicken. All right, our sauce has begun to thicken. So I'm going to add the salt, pepper, and nutmeg. And we're going to whisk that in. And I'm going to turn my fire off. Get rid of that heat. And now that the salt, pepper, and nutmeg is stirred in, we're going to add our cup of Swiss, 1 cup of the Swiss, and the cup of white cheddar, extra sharp white cheddar. And we want to whisk that in until it is melted. Just keep stirring and it will melt quickly. Okay, you can see that it's almost melted in there. Now, we're just going to leave this sit right here on the heat, or not on the heat, but on the stove while we put together our hot brown. By the way, I do need to go ahead and turn on my broil on my oven. Okay, that looks really good. So we're going to go over and put our turkey on the toast. You can see that I have moved the toast over to a baking sheet. And I'm just going to take my turkey and kind of fold it in half. And I'm going to do 2 slices on each piece because we want plenty of turkey on there. You want people to cut into this and know that it has turkey on it. If you don't like that much turkey on yours, then do 1 slice. It's up to you. You make it your own. Put as much on there as you want. But we like plenty of turkey on ours. Okay, I'm going to continue putting our turkey on until we have them all covered. You can see that we have our turkey on our toast. And now I'm just ladling over our cheese sauce, our Mornay sauce. You can put as little or as much as you want on it. Some people like it absolutely swimming in the cheese sauce. I'm not one of those people. I like the cheese sauce on it, but I don't want it just to be drenched in it.
We were out to eat with a friend of ours not too long ago that had ordered a hot brown, and you couldn't see anything but the cheese sauce.
You wouldn't have known that there was bread or turkey or anything else on it.
It literally came out with a pile of cheese sauce. And
yeah. It didn't look too appetizing, did it?
Well,
I didn't say that, but...
I mean, it was just, there was no dimension to it besides the cheese sauce.
Exactly. Okay. So, but you do want cheese sauce on it. I mean, you want to know that it's there. Okay. We're going to top that with our other cup of Swiss, and we'll just try to divide that out. Now, as soon as we get this on here, we're going to go into our preheated oven where the broiler is turned on. And you want to broil this just until the cheese melts and you get a little bit of color on it. You want to be able to see that it's browned just a little bit. So, and you don't want a ton of this cheese on here. You just want enough on the top that you can see that there's some on there and that it has browned some.
Paprika will give it a little color too.
The paprika will help it, and we are going to sprinkle that with some paprika. Probably could have used just a little more of this cheese, but I thought it was plenty. Wow, this looks good.
It does.
This is a great way to feed a crowd for the Derby, or for any time. I mean, this doesn't have to be just for the Derby.
And you wouldn't have to make 8.
No, you wouldn't. No, absolutely not. Okay, now let's sprinkle our paprika right on top. And we don't want to overdo it, but you want that on there for the color and for a little bit of that smoky taste. Ooh, might have done it too much right there. I better keep doing it the way I was. Just trying to do it faster. I shouldn't have done that. That's better. Okay. Last one right here. All right, we're going into the oven and broil it for, it'll probably take, I'm gonna say 3 to 4 minutes for it to broil. All right, in we go. Our hot browns are out of the oven. I'm just going to pick one of those up, put it right on my plate. Now, we want to put some tomato on it. Let me grab a spoon. Now, a real hot brown would have tomato wedges on the side. Oh, nope, nope, nope. You know what I forgot?
Bacon?
Forgot my bacon. Phooey. I have to do the bacon first. So just take your bacon, kind of cut it in half, break it in half, and cover the top of your hot brown. Now put your tomato on. And you don't want it completely covered. You just want it to be kind of sprinkled over it. As I was saying, if you got a hot brown in a restaurant, most of the time the tomato is on the side. It's not on top of it. But for this hot brown casserole, it does say to put it on the side. And then you can just kind of sprinkle some parsley on it if you want to do that. That is not necessary. Okay, there's our hot brown from our hot brown casserole. What do you think, Mama?
I like it. It's very pretty.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks really good.
Jill, we do appreciate you sharing this recipe with us. You know, we could have counted this as a subscriber recipe, I guess.
Yeah.
But since Jill gave it to me so long ago.
And we've made hot brown since then. We just haven't made it like this casserole. Yep.
You ready for a bite?
Yes, I guess I am.
I'll get a piece of tomato for you. And a piece of bacon. I don't know if you can do that. Is that too big? Oh. She dropped a bit of cheese. Did you catch it? Good. So how's the cheese sauce? The Mornay sauce?
That's really good.
Good.
And I like that you did, excuse me, you didn't drench it. It's not overwhelmed with the cheese sauce.
Yeah, I did not.
You still taste everything else.
I did not use all the cheese sauce just because we don't like it drenched. I'm gonna pick this up.
I have had a hot brown before that's a little oily from all the cheese. That's perfect though.
That reminds me, the very first hot brown I ever had was in a restaurant in Winchester, Kentucky. And I'm not kidding you, it was so greasy from the cheese sauce that I said I would never eat another hot brown. Here I am.
That one's really good.
That cheese sauce is really good too. That's a delicious cheese sauce. And you saw how easy it was to make. And that's going to serve 8 people. 1 each is all you need. And you know that turkey is really good.
That is.
I got that turkey at our local Mennonite store. It's just called oven roasted turkey. Man, it's good. Okay, thank you so much for being here for our recipe and our video today. We do appreciate you watching.
Celebrate Kentucky with us this week.
Absolutely. Make some hot browns and celebrate Kentucky. We would appreciate you going right below the video and clicking the like button. If you haven't before, we invite you to click that subscribe button. It's right below the video. There's a little notification bell beside of it, and then you'll see the word all. If you'll click those, it will subscribe you to our channel. Right under the video is a description box. You'll see it's going to say hot brown casserole. If you'll click anywhere in that box, the box will expand. Melissa always puts the written recipe there for you. Under that is our contact information. You'll see our mailing address. You can mail us recipes if you'd like to do that, and we will consider using those on our Sunday subscriber series. Also under that is a link to the Amazon page where you can order our cookbook, and we invite you to order that if you'd like one. And then at the bottom of the page is a place for you to leave a comment. We love hearing from you. So we really would appreciate you going down there and just typing us out a comment. Thank you again for watching. We do appreciate you being here. And we want you to remember that you are always welcome to come sit at my table. Enjoy the Derby.